What's up, guys? It is Sam here, and today I wanted to talk about LGD and RAD140. And if this is your first time here, what's good? My name is Sam, and for those of you who are returning, it's good to freaking see you. Okay, so LGD and 40 RAD140 was the pre-workout stack that I took today before going to the gym. The pre-workout consumption that I had was a pre-workout. It has DMAA, DMHA, GABA, and a couple other things in it. It's my favorite pre-workout at this moment. I love it. It's just fucking. It's yeah. I really like it a lot. I've been using it 5 days a week or 4 days a week. Because I think anything should be rotated. So if I take it every single day, my body's going to adjust accordingly because I'm consuming something every single day. So I try to take my supplementation, drugs, compounds. By the way, none of this is advice for you. You shouldn't do anything you see online. You should do your own fucking research. This is all under doctor supervision and strictly for entertainment purposes. So, with that being said, I took the DMAA pre-workout and weed, so that I would smoke a vape pen on the way to the gym. I create a little bit of content for TikTok. TikTok is fucking blowing up. I'm at 2.25 million views over the last 20 days. Links in the description if you want to jump over to TikTok and say what's good, or if you're interested in Tesla. I've made several hundred videos on Tesla over on TikTok if you want to check it out. There's also links in the description if you want to do your own research about any of the research compounds that I talk about. But why did I put LGD with the RAD140? I actually tend to. It seems like taking something that's low. I think I'm gonna call them softer versus something that's gonna make it like a hardener in a sense. Think of it as like an epoxy, right? Like if for an epoxy you have a part A and a part B. One's mixed with the other to make this a surface that's extremely hard to coat things in, right? Like, so a lot of door jams used to be coated in like epoxy. Well, not door jams, but other things. This is a very, very hard coating that's way harder than paint, essentially. And when I put together something like an Ostarine with a S4 Ostarine and S23 Ostarine and RAD140, or even YK11. I'm not sure where the YK11 fits in, but it feels as though Ostarine and LGD are good supplements for the right. And I'm not saying you should do anything that I do. For the objectives that I have, the look that I like to combine those two as a pre-workout. Whether it's Ostarine and one of those compounds, S4, S23, RAD140, or LGD and one of those compounds. Maybe actually, now that I'm actually making this, maybe tomorrow, well, I'm taking this weekend off more than likely from the gym. I might do some yoga, but that's it. Maybe Monday I will actually try some LGD with Ostarine and see what I think on Monday. So make sure you press that subscribe button so you can get that video when it comes out on Monday to see what it's like stacking those two together, because it's been quite a long time since I've researched with that together. Now, what were the effects in the gym? Well, I was a little bit distracted. I feel very beat down this week. Has been a very, very good week from a training standpoint, where I'm like sore. My lower back doesn't hurt from like pain. It hurts because the muscles are so tight. It's like my lower back is like this all day long, constantly just flexing. It's so tight. My joints are feeling good. My joints are feeling really good. I'm trying to think what else. If there was anything else. So in the gym, I felt very beat up from this week being very sore. There's also something like, I don't know if it's my hip flexor or something, but the inside of my pelvis, right up at the top of my hip, like right where my oblique is, going down just an inch or so, It's almost like it feels like there's a maybe a muscle that's either not used to this position because now I'm sitting at a desk because I'm working at home. So if you guys do decide to do your own research and you use one of the links in the description, if you use the code down there, it actually helps me out because I quit my job and I'm going all in on stuff online to figure out how to make a living online. And I've got about 15 to 18 months worth of savings um, before like I have to figure out it gets real serious. You know what I mean? So if you do your own research and you use the code, it does help me out along those objectives as well. But the thing that could have potentially caused this in my hip is that now that I work from home, I essentially sit at a desk all day, right, and work on a computer. So I don't know if the sitting in a desk, because I worked in banking, so I would be up and down constantly at my desk, just all day long, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Where here at home, I might just sit there for hours and hours and hours. So I don't know if the sitting there for hours and hours and hours is causing me to have like a hip flexor tightness or something. I've been doing more stretching and more. I haven't done any foam rolling there, but I do a lot of foam rolling in my chest, and I do some foam rolling in my lower back. I've just started since this week. My lower back's been so incredibly tight. It's only been about 4 weeks or so since I quit my job, so this whole routine is like brand new. Um, so I'm curious to see how this plays out. I think this weekend having 48 hours of rest is going to be very important for me from a recovery standpoint to be able to do it again because the level of focus that I try to bring in my workouts is I try to really, really bring the intensity in there. And tonight I wasn't honestly there from the intensity standpoint, but I think that was way more to do with the mental over the past week of just having really good like my lats were sore after my back day, and my lats don't get super sore very often. My triceps were sore after doing triceps. They don't get sore super often. Like I get like tightness and sore little bits here and there, but generally speaking, to bring that level of intensity where you really stepping up the volume and really focusing on every single rep to be able to do like a lot of times one body part per week I might be able to get sore. So I'm really focusing on getting the atrophy, or I'm sorry, getting the hypertrophy by increasing the intensity of what I'm doing in the gym. I'm doing some different movements, different exercises, different speeds. I've slowed everything down even more than I was slowing things down, and I already do pretty even keel, like a lot slower reps than a lot of people do in the gym, and I've slowed some of the reps down too to really focus on the mind muscle connection. My weights might go down. Like you could sit right next to me and do twice as much weight as me, and I could care less because that has nothing to do with my objective, which I think is a distraction for a lot of people because they just are not focused on themselves. But this weekend, having 48 hours of recovery, I actually don't take any SARMs for research over the weekend. So what happens is it is Friday night, and by the half life, I think, of LGD is 24-ish hours, maybe 26 hours or something. So it's going to be substantially less, if not completely out of my system, by the time Monday afternoon. I've got 2 full days, right? Plus about maybe 6 hours to 8 hours on Friday, where I took it earlier today, right? So then I also have, 18 hours to 14 hours on Monday. So essentially almost probably like 3 full days for something to like start getting out of my system. And this way I feel that there is a buildup that can be advantageous to like clean out your androgen receptors and allow them to have the same like intensity in terms of like when you're using a compound think of it as like weed, right? If you smoke weed every single day, you end up smoking more to get high, right, over time. Or if you were to take pain pills, right, you take more over time. And the same thing happens with compounds. So I believe so. I am not only trying to leave periods of the week, right? And that's why I pushed it to Saturday and Sunday so that I could specifically after Friday afternoon not take anything till Monday. I mean, I'm still going to take the TRT base, but actually, even that sometimes I don't take one day on the weekend as well. Because I do daily. I do daily injections for the test. If you want to see a video on the daily injections test, you can check out the channel or hit me up, like in the comment section down below, and ask me, and I can answer any other questions in a new video. So don't forget to subscribe.